I would call the July regular board meetings to order for 2026. Start out reading the board norms. Number one, all meetings will be conducted in accordance with best practices governing the Board of Education. Two, all members will participate in board discussions in a respectful manner, which honors different perspectives. Three, all board members will equally participate in making motions, seconding motions, and voting on each motion. Four, all meetings will abide by the policy which governs the Cass School District 7. And five, all members will follow the agenda and ensure discussion is focused only on the agreed items in the approved agenda. And I believe there's one addition to the agenda. Just one item page to take action on open enrollment application for level 10 from West Fargo.
Yes.
Okay. We need a motion to approve the agenda as amended. Also move.
Second.
Roll call vote, please.
Bierke,
Aye.
Gilbert,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Birch, Olson,
Aye.
Stefas.
Motion carries. All right. Just want to start with the consent agenda or what?
Yeah, let's do consent agenda first.
Start with Terry.
So with our consent agenda, our general fund right now sits at $179,786.12. Activity fund, $554,022.07. Hot lunch, $150,748.51. Heating, electric combined, $14,171. Electric was $4,788.69. Heating, $9,343, and investment interest, $1,034.51.
All right. We have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented.
Make a motion to approve.
Discussion or debate? Roll call, please.
Bierke,
Aye.
Gilbert,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Birch,
Aye.
Olson, Stefas.
Aye.
Carries.
Could do teaching and learning next.
Sure.
So the teaching and learning, so I'm just gonna pass these around a little bit, but I'm gonna basically talk about one, and that's through the Center for Innovation. And we had a great conversation, North Dakota State College of Science. Dr. Flanagan, who was the president, stepped away. So they have a new interim president, Kate, that was gonna run this. And she is extremely motivated, and kind of Morgan Fornes actually said that after her presentation, she was going to make him cry because this is what the Center of Innovation was supposed to be about. I passed around the different classes that they are going to be offering, but I'll take the building trades class a little bit. So the waiver that we're going to work on, and we would be Corey from Fargo Schools, Beth Slutty from West Fargo, Morgan from Central Cass, and myself from Northern Cass. One of the pieces that we're going to look at is that we take heavy equipment, getting the students down there to take a heavy equipment class, and then being able to get a math credit on top of that with the math that is used, and being able to work through that so they can get 2 credits at one time. We have such a hard time getting kids down there because they have to go down to get through the heavy equipment, and then we got to try to get them back up here and get them the rest of their credits. So the waiver that we're going to sign or try to put out there is if we can use one class to get multiple credits. The agriculture is the other one. We have a lot of students that would like to go down to intro to ag, and can we get a English credit out of the intro to ag piece as well? And Dr. Rush seems pretty excited about that concept and wants to make that work through North Dakota State College of Science, just to get our students there, Central Cass students there, and to be able to house them and get more than one credit out of one class. So excited about that. And the state, Levi Bachmeyer, seems like something that he's willing to work on and look at. The other piece that was exciting Dr. Flanagan said he would not allow any classes to be taught at that innovation center that was not for college credit. She said, we can teach some classes here that are not for college credit.
That was kind of the purpose of it all.
Yeah. Yeah. So she had said that we can teach, that they can teach classes there that aren't necessarily college credits, or high school kids can, be there for a half a day and get the credits that they need on top of taking the CTE classes that they need. So I was excited about that. I shared at one time that Dr. Flanagan said we were going to be about $300,000 over budget, and they were going to divide that amongst the schools. This new interim president said not happening. She goes, I will make sure to give every school at least a year to 2 year notice if something's going to be off with the budget. There are things in that 300,000 overage that probably shouldn't have been put in there as far as line items go. So we don't have to worry about all of a sudden coming up with another $25,000 that will cover the overages. So a very eventful, very productive meeting last week with this group, and people left excited. People left excited about it and what it can do, actually supposed to do for the kids. Any questions?
Next, did you want to just continue on with your administrative report?
Yeah, I can do that. Oops, sorry. My administrative report, I don't know if you looked at it at all. I changed it a little bit, and I would like to, I'm gonna tie the strategic plan into it after we look at it at our end of July here at our retreat. But I tied that to kind of keep you updated on where we're at with the strategic plan. There's nothing in it right now. It was just something for you to take a look at and maybe become accustomed to. Enrollment wise, we are projecting 703. We have some open enrollments that hopefully that'll go up. Right now, we are down 7 students from last school year. Easy pay, we had nothing this month. Transportation, obviously, nothing this month. Some upcoming dates for me. Tuesday, July 14th, our WorldCast special education. So tomorrow, Tuesday, July 21st, our fall coaches meeting, sports physical blitz. And then Tuesday, Thursday, July 28th through 30th, new teacher PD. On top of that, we have our board retreat on the 28th, and we're going to bring in the new teachers and introduce themselves. I have a Berry Foundation meeting on the 28th, right before our board retreat in the morning there. So some fun things going on. Amber and Tyler and Bryce are applying for a rural wellness grant. We can get up to $25,000 to purchase fitness equipment. So treadmills, dumbbells, they had a pretty good wish list. So we're excited about that opportunity. It does not involve hiring anybody new or anything like that. It's strictly for fitness equipment. Information for me for this month. We have a bus meeting tomorrow morning. After the bus meeting, I will be sending out letters to parents about the upcoming bus routes, which is a hot topic always after that gets sent out. Working on reviewing and updating job descriptions, and I'm trying to update the job descriptions to tie into the strategic plan, make it kind of fit that way. Vital Network, they do a lot of surveys. I did not know this until we met with them at the end of the school year, but they can actually rate questions in that survey that meet Northern Kansas needs. So I sent Aaron the strategic plan, because there are people who take our strategic plan and derive some questions that come from that. So that it's a positive thing. And then I'm trying to refine and develop a different type of strategic plan dashboard for us to take a peek at, look at period of time. So
Thanks, Terry.
One quick question.
Yep.
You'll be able to put some meeting on the 21st.
yes.
Pete, did you want to do that board education ballot?
Yeah, you can do that. So you should have the link for the finance facts. Will be. Yep. So this has been updated. I think this is like the third or fourth year now that we've been tracking this information. Our largest revenues really haven't changed, the state aid, transportation aid, and then property taxes that have been collected. The new thing that we had was that safety mill levy. And there's a page on the school board website that shows like what we've been purchasing or not. You're not seeing it, so you have to refresh.
Saw it when they were done.
Or let's try one more time. If you refresh that page. It should be under the agenda with attachments.
Oh, there we go. It wasn't.
It wasn't attached last time. Yes. Although the state aid is over $11,000, they do deduct what we collect in property tax payments. So for Northern Cass, we don't actually collect that 11,000 from the state. We collect right over 9,000 per student
But then it's filled in up to 11,000
with the property tax. Correct. Yes. For grant revenues, you'll see if it included a portion of salary or different programming that we offer here. The first one, that CLSD grant, that was one that we finished. That was the big 1 million over 5 years. The homeless child and youth / McKinney-Vento, that's one that we're on we're on a 3-year block, but we can only utilize that funding if we do have kids that are identified as homeless. And in your consent agenda later, you'll approve Mrs. Davis as the homeless liaison, is this title. And this is to provide some of those extra services that if someone is identified as homeless would just make them more successful at school. So if they need help with transportation, if they need school supplies, if they need like feminine hygiene products, or if they need like additional mental health supports, that would be considered an eligible expenditure under that grant. The juvenile justice funding, that's a federal program. And the Amber Lockhart has been helping me with the reporting for this. It offers 2 different services to the kids. So the Check and Connect program that initially started with Pam Sterling. Go back that far. And we've just continued and have been able to expand that program to the number of kids it's servicing. And then Nexus Path is the social work services. So they have criteria to be eligible to meet with Nexus Path, but the Nexus Path does all of the coordinating for that child to get those services. So it takes some of that workload off of our counselors, principals, would be Amber Lockhart's position. And then we have 1 more year of grant funding there. The Best in Class is the preschool program, and that's determined on how many kids they want to see from. And that one is through the Department of Health and Human Services. It is not through the Department of Instruction. And then we also collect tuition based on their household revenue. The work-based learning coordinator position is something that CTE is really funding or really pushing. And it literally connects almost all the dots that Mrs. Todick does. It's getting the kids into those internships, getting the work experience. And this is one that they approved for this biennium, and then we'll go into the legislative session this spring. The Seek Innovation Grant, Mrs. Todick is working to develop an app, and it would help kids and families track those graduation requirements. So like the internship hours, the work experience, volunteer hours, and then it connects the kid directly with that employer or who they're working with. United Way, we currently through 2026 will have funding for family counseling services. And we also have career exploration opportunities. And this is one that they'll pilot this fall. And I don't recall there's like 4 different pathways that they're working. So I know in the fall, there's something with UND is coming in. This will be a good board education once it gets into place. But this funding provides for that information to be stored for the kids to get credit for that experience. And then we just found out, so last week, I think, that we got additional United Way funding for mental health for 27, I believe it would have been 2027. And then the last one, the COPS grant funding, this is through September of 2027, and we only have the $31,000 remaining. When we initially applied, it included like the teacher locks and the camera upgrades that we covered through the state grant versus this is federal funding. So that's why we have that $31,000 remaining. So I'm waiting to get a approval notification for a budget amendment to either pay for the room renumbering, which was something that Sheriff Johnner recommended, or paying for rekeying the building. Because that would be a big safety measure for us. So, and then it would take a burden off of the safety bill levy.
We'll see if we'll put that money. Won't take that out of the safety.
Right. We wouldn't mill for that part of it. Is there any questions of revenue for those different grants? The next page, page 2, is just the dual credit and the Center for Distance Ed, what we've spent, historical comparisons. There was a change to Center for Distance Ed that if they want to take it in the summer, they have to pay for it. Or if it's a class, like if they chose to take English 9, but we offer it in-house, then the family pays for it, correct?
If it's the first time, the second time, if they fail it in-house
Okay.
and then have to take it through distance ed the second time, then the school has to pay for it. But if we offer the class, they don't, the school does not pay for it.
But still a good way for like an intro to marketing, or if they aren't taking it at the CIC, like an intro to ag kind of class.
And if people ask you at all about, I've had some emails on distance, not distance, dual credit. In North Dakota Century Code, it is not illegal for school districts to pay for dual credit classes. So
Say that again.
in North Dakota Century Code, it is illegal for public schools to pay for dual credit classes.
Any level, like partial or anything.
Anything, yeah.
When did that kick in?
I think it's been there. I'm not sure. We just got informed.
Well, one less thing I have to track. All right, the last page is just those other funds that we levy for and track. I did get the end of the year carryover balance. You'll see at that $1.5 million, which is about 14%. We are under like the recommended Eide Bailly percentage of 16.67. But still in a comfortable position to pay our bills until we get the first state aid payment here in August, so. In the middle of the page, you'll see that special reserve fund. That's the one that does have the 15 mil cap and has like restrictive eligible expenses that we can use. So I just kind of wanted to point that out, that we will probably need to either budget that for the 26-27 school year, or know that we'll need to withdraw some of that funding at the beginning of 2027-28. I was gonna say too, we do know the property tax values are decreasing, so this will be the first time that property taxes will go down in terms of collections from the school. And that doesn't include the primary residence credit. This is just tax valuation decreasing. And then that second attachment shows like our fall enrollment. You'll see towards the right side of that page for each grade area. And then the ADM is like based on the child's enrollment at school in terms of how many days they're physically in the building, not with an excused absence. One thing as I was updating the sheet, it still kind of blows my mind in terms of the like 9 through 12. But this is like a federal or like across the state. This isn't just like a Northern Cass issue in terms of the percentage of attendance.
No, yeah, it's constantly being talked about.
And then you'll see the way right column is our estimates for the incoming kids. So we're expecting a slight drop, but
We're preparing for a slight
yeah.
drop future.
All right, any further questions for Paige on that? All right, then just confirming with, Paige that we have the oaths of office on file for our newly elected board members.
We do.
All right,
Yes.
official, right? Next item on the agenda would be election of officers. So, I guess I'll open the floor and we have any nominations for board chairperson.
Nominated Pete Chris.
So. I'll have to ask Chris, would you accept that nomination?
I'll continue for another year.
Good job, Chris. Do we have a nomination? And we'll have to make it formal for someone to make a motion, sorry. To elect Mr. Murch for board chair.
We'll make a motion to go up Chris French to board as.
One second.
Any discussion or debate? Roll call vote.
Yerke.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Johnson.
Right?
Merch.
Hughes.
Olson.
Aye.
Stefas.
All right, motion carries. Congratulations, Chris. Back on the round. Go again. And then, next we would need, a nomination for vice chairperson. I'll throw out Mr. Jalbert. Sean, would you accept
Yes.
nomination? Do we have a motion for Mr. Jalbert for vice chair? I don't.
Board member.
I'll nominate, I'll make a motion to nominate, Mr. Jalbert for vice chair. Any further discussion or debate? Roll call, please.
Yerke.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Refuse.
Johnson.
I,
Merch. Olson.
Aye.
Stefas.
All right, motion carries. Congratulations.
Your last dig and then.
Yep, that's right. All right, I think that's it for me then. Turn it over to Mr. Birch.
You know what to do?
Here's service.
Thanks. Okay, then, thank you.
Say, do you guys want a photo? We can take a quick recess. Want to call it recess? Yep.
right, we will call an end to the recess.
4:32.
Final business would be the consent agenda for the coming 26-27 school year. Several items. So we have to appoint you as business manager every year. That's. Remember that.
Yep. Compared to prior years, the only difference is we added. It's after the foster care and homeless liaison positions. The approval to designate Mr. Baszler to appoint a curriculum review policy committee, should that complaint be received during the school year. In my time, we've only had 2 of them. The school board policy says that you'll set it at the beginning of the year, but as it stands right now, we technically don't have a person in that position to appoint that committee. So kind of we'll cross that bridge when it comes.
Everybody's had time to review. Taking some of the consent agenda.
Yeah, tug up a little bit, Chris, with that thing, and it's.
Yeah, it's all this kind of dry.
Oh.
I'm fine, I just started this morning too.
Anyway, if we need, or I mean, if we're gonna, anyone feels appropriate, we need a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented. Okay. And we need this date for discussion. Hearing none, roll call vote please.
Beerkeep? Liz?
I was like, wait.
Yeah.
Gilbert?
Aye.
Johnson?
Aye.
Birch?
Yes.
Olson? Steppas?
All right, next would be committee reports, which are only one committee meeting this month, which was budget and resources. Got it? Yep. I got it, the box. All right, so yeah, we only went to one meeting this month. It's said, so we went over to the 25, 26 budget. I went over that, we reviewed the budget, we paid off some things for 26, 27. Because there was some extra money that we paid off for this fall school year. So off the property tax relief, I don't know if a lot of you guys know this, but Cass County is holding a check for $400,000 for us. Yep. I don't know exactly how it was worded. Part of the
Nobody really has an answer for it.
part of the property tax relief bill from the state has been issued the funds to Cass County, but Cass County hasn't passed it through to the school. So the 400,000 and paid was saying it should be dispersed on Wednesday. Part of it for $11 million. So we made the last Chromebook payment of the 270 device agreements that's been paid. We have not, as Paige talked about, on for the works basic learning grant, we have not received that 50,000 for product yet, but that will be coming soon. Then we went over the 26, 27, Terry and Paige, we're gonna go over that for the budget for 26, 27, correct?
Yeah, we're gonna do that at the.
Yeah, you were working on it,
Yeah.
and we're gonna go over it on.
Yes.
at the
Yeah.
Retreat,
Yep.
so. The safety mill levies, paid for the intercom system to be installed now. Renumbering the classrooms, like Paige talked about earlier, with some of the extra funds. On the COPS fund there, we could use that, rekeying, we're gonna rekey the whole school. So then there will be, how many key sets, I mean,
12 we're hoping.
12 different keys.
Yes.
Versus like,
Compared to.
800. so like, the bus barn will have, for an example, the bus barn, and that will have its own key lock. So, and then for whatever, so kind of. Eliminates a bunch of those keys that are out there, so. We went over the building fund, we reviewed that. Budget expenses for 26, 27. Kind of figure out what we need to do there. The roof will be coming out of the general fund for this school year or the next school year?
Building fund for this.
This school year, yeah. Okay, we talked about, community wellness fund will change to family engagement. The wrestling mat has been purchased through the wrestling fundraising. And just been taken care of. The personalized institute discussion, that sounds like you can explain that. I mean,
Yep. So the personalized learning institute this summer we were projecting to be our last summer that we do it. We had tremendous feedback. The North Dakota Personalized Learning Institute had tremendous feedback on people just enjoy being out here with it. So we are going to do it again next summer. It will no longer be the Northern Cass Personalized Learning Institute. It'll be North Dakota's Personalized Learning Institute. So then what we do is we give them here's how much it's going to cost us to run it. So we're not going to lose any money on it or anything like that. But people just appreciated being out here, and we had really, really positive comments from people from around the United States that had showed up about our school building and the location and just the product that was put on. So we will do it another year.
So like Terry said, that we will be submitting a bill for basically renting a facility out, so.
Yep.
Mhm.
Are they looking to continue the institute just somewhere else or?
Well, yeah, so there are three options. They're here, Fargo, and Valley City. Well, Valley City State, they removed Valley City State almost immediately because they were gonna have that in an auditorium. They like the group sitting at tables, so it left Fargo on us, and everybody just enjoyed it. That we just decided, the principals, myself, Stacy, they're gonna hire Stacy anyways to continue doing the programs and all that. So we're gonna do it here one more year and see what happens. And it's fantastic. The speakers that come in are amazing speakers, and it's really, really positive. So we didn't have any issues this year.
I think Terry said too, that when the people were out here, at least they stayed out here. They were.
Yeah.
Getting go shopping or?
Yeah, you start with a convention, you start with 350 people on the first day, and then the afternoon of the second day, you're down to about 175. Wasn't the case, and that was appreciative by administrators that, hey, all my people stayed out here and attended it.
Yeah, that's good.
Then the last thing we went over just is the contract services for software. Things like that, so. Last thing, Chris.
All right, thanks, Sean. So then the next part of that would be establishing who will be on the committees for the coming. Does anybody have a preference? Anybody they put on or continue to serve on?
I'll put on, the funding is.
Or put something together if you want. It's your guys' decision.
All right, so Terry and I have discussed a little bit. So budget and human resources would be myself, Sean, and Todd. Buildings and ground would be Sean, Wendy, and Blank. And teaching and learning would be Penny, Lori, and Liz. Is everybody okay with that, or have an opinion on what they would like to move forward and be part of?
What was the one?
The buildings are definitely set.
You know, somebody else wants to.
Right.
Wendy? Oh, she was on kind of.
Who's on building and ground side?
Also be Sean, Wendy, and Sean. Right now it's Susan, Sean.
No, I didn't know if you wanted to be on tour or not, but.
Always before of those. And what, just to ask for you then. Is what you call it, speculations, we didn't call it.
And it's up to you guys if it's.
I don't think there's a need to do activities you want. I mean, all that was micromanaging Bryce, and I don't think Bryce needs micromanaging by any means.
There's some questions that we've been on.
I mean, he answers our questions at the regular meetings. I just think it's, I just. think it's needed.
If that means okay with this presented.
What was the, I guess, agenda items for the activities committee prior?
All he would do is go over what activities are going on, what they've done, what they got coming up, and he does all that at the regular board meetings also. So, talk about uniforms, well, we talked about that at the regular meeting too.
So all of those things would be brought for him.
It already is. So it was like double. We weren't discussing anything new in there. Wasn't brought to a board meeting.
So, motion to. Suggest the. So we'll.
Second.
Session. We'll follow up things.
Yerke.
Aye.
Joubert.
Aye.
Johnson.
Aye.
Birch. Wilson. Stefas.
Right, the next item on new business would be the reading of first reading of presented policies. So we'd like to have read.
Oh, the,
For the field trips.
maybe she. Yeah, you want.
Yeah, so we have a. At the moment, I decided where field trips. And there wasn't limited to mileage. I'd like, this FFF is field and other school sponsored trips. We put a mileage limit on it, so anything outside of 300 miles, it needs to come to the school board to decide. And obviously I can make recommendations. But it just, I think it'll just make solidify a little bit for doing something worthwhile, or for doing something that's just like, why are we doing this? The 300 miles gives us Bismarck, Sioux Falls, Minneapolis. So those where we most commonly go are within the range of the 300 miles. The example I'm gonna throw is this field trip or the musical trip down to Orleans. You know, that would have fallen under this 300 mile where that needed to come to the school board first before just throwing it out there. Yeah.
Is the foreign language separate then, or would that fall under that as well?
The foreign language would fall under this as well. But it's easy to explain value for that one because we also have credits
Right.
tied to that one. Yeah. Some of the things that I've been understanding as a board, everybody's just getting hit with everything. You know, we close up, all of a sudden needs X amount of dollars. And I was like, where did this trip to New Orleans come from? Now we need $1,500 a kid, and this will just be more tied. Not that I can't say no, but it just gives everybody an opportunity to say, is this worthwhile for our students, our population to?
Is there somewhere closer they can go, for
Correct.
less money, same
Yeah.
experience?
Of that, and then we got some administration guys sites with this. They do.
Yeah, there was a fact before. Even mentioned to us.
Yeah,
So.
So the recommendation. It is as first reading and to accept this one second.
You can, I mean, it depends on, yeah, the these are all like recommended by School Boards Association, so you can do the motion without a second as well. Without, sorry, yes, the second reading.
So you're saying leave that up, second reading?
Yeah, I'd like to have that put in place. Can we do that effectively?
That's with that without
Yeah,
the
wait,
second reading.
Wait a second reading. I'll
Yeah,
say
We're
that.
hoping to have all of them without a second reading. Is the
I-
recommendation. Yep.
I had a question about the risk management.
Okay.
Very last one.
Yep.
It indicates in it that like Terry would have to do more reports annually of like a bunch of the risk management stuff, and I just don't know, like, do we really need that?
I don't think those reports need to be. Maybe. This morning we sat with Nathan and talked about our playground. We've had issues with one of the slides on the playground and just the page 9, we had a buildings project conversation today with page 9 and payment. So I think it's okay because it'll help me stay informed. And I don't think the reports have to be, I can write a paragraph report on playground. Sure.
It's kind of something that's pretty- Is it good to have that on file that you've done it based on an incident?
I would think, so, yeah, I would think so.
So instead of.
Yeah.
We're aware of it.
If we could.
As long as we're aware that it's in there, so that
Yeah, yeah.
doing it.
Yes, yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And if the school board association recommends it, it's a good one to. Also.
This was one of the.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll see.
I'm gonna say, and like the unemployment compensation and workers' compensation claims, like Terry and I would connect, like he's aware if an employee gets hurt at work or if somebody resigns, yeah.
So I don't, yeah.
I appreciate it.
I do too.
Well, actually, we're just trying to use for like,
Thank you.
all,
Yeah.
that's might be it.
It just doesn't.
Yeah.
But kind of does tie in with like, if we do an assessment like this, we'll know long-term planning wise, what needs to be updated
Yeah.
facility wise, or.
But yeah, I do think.
I'll second.
Yerke, Shelburne, Johnson, Birch, Wilson, Stefas.
Set a public budget meeting, one that we have been nobody should attend, but always someone does.
Yes, and I did so, cause you get the letter for your property taxes, in the last couple of years, I'm like, how come nobody's doing them later in the evening like we had originally planned, like when we all started? And they don't have to be that certain time frame anymore. They just have to be, the budget has to be posted on our website by August 10th. And then, they have to know when this meeting is. So some schools are, and that's what I'm proposing, they keep their normal regular meeting and then they just host it after. Because it's really just a hearing of the budget. If somebody has a question or concern about the budget, that's when they're supposed to voice that concern.
So it's just a matter of changing it from the end of the meeting instead of.
And then we won't host the meeting at 6:30 PM. We'll just host it at the normal 5:30 time.
Put them in so that it has 6 or 7 for the budget. Or it doesn't have.
It doesn't have to have a time.
No, just.
It's just following.
Following.
Just trying to keep us on.
So we need a motion to set that meeting date, time.
Date. Yep, so we'll later approve those calendar dates. But right now I have it as September 16th.
So the motion should be just following the September 4th.
Yep, it can be that, in case the September board meeting changes.
I'll make a motion to approve to have the meeting after our regular September meeting.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Yerke,
Aye.
Gilbert,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Merch,
Yes.
Wilson,
Yes.
Stefas.
Board compensation for the coming year. We're currently at 60.
Yep, it came through my listserv. And I had just kind of gone through other school boards. I just know this because the board member or the business manager always says it, but Richland donates their time and mileage. Which Central Valley, North Border, and New England, I don't know where that is. They all are at 75. Otherwise, there's a lot of districts at that 100 to 150. And then some are, they do it just like an annual stipend, and I suppose that's so they know like what to budget. And then others have a different rate for like a regular meeting versus a committee meeting. So they might have like $100 for a regular meeting and then $50 for a committee meeting.
Our favorite discussion.
I know.
Or we just continue on the way we were.
Fine with that.
Yeah.
Make a motion.
I will make a motion to continue the current compensation.
Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Yerke,
Aye.
Gilbert,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
Merch,
Yes.
Wilson,
Aye.
Stefas.
Aye.
The fee schedule for the 26-27 school years. Attached to the agenda.
Terry, this is one where you combined.
Or should I tell you what I did before?
No.
Can I talk first?
You can present it.
You should put the information.
Yeah, it's good.
That's good.
Present it?
Yeah.
Okay, so everything remains pretty much the same. What you're gonna see differently is a mandatory learner school fee. And we had it broken down where we had the learner fee, we had the computer fee. We had if you took a studio fee, if you took a CTE class fee, and it was starting to kind of get hard to manage, and let alone some of the families were paying $600. You know, for example, if their student took one studio and 3 CTE classes every semester, that kept adding up and adding up. So and we do not have activity, you know, if you participate in athletics, we do not have a fee associated with that. And we, over the listserv last week, talking to Kindred, Hillsborough, Central Cass, Haddon Northwood, Mainport CG, you know, they all charge about between $50 and $70 per athletic event. We don't do that, but we are able to tie it underneath this mandatory learner fee. So $110 per learner, K through 5, and 6 through 12 is $150 per learner. And then underneath, we try to explain what it covers. It covers the activities. We don't have students, you know, the other piece, the activity pass. We don't have our students buy activity passes, you know, and that's another piece that multiple schools have. So Learner expense related to activities, field trips, the CTE classes, the studio supplies, computer usage to maintain software accessibility. But we will start, we will charge if damage to computer is over $50. So we just took everything and we wrapped it into two simple things. 110 for the K-5, 150 for the 6 through 12. And just try to lessen the expense without the school losing any funding from that. Yeah, discuss it.
Make a motion to. For school feedings. Especially. What especially. So that it's figured out kind of that
Yeah,
where we got in last year, or where this would come out.
Yeah.
700.
Yeah. On top of hopefully saving some people a little bit of, a little bit of cash for that.
We'll some people out a bit more, it's like it's involved.
It should all equal, covering the field trips. And it's not like that, we're not paying for the leads field trip, I guess, but, cover the field trip takes pieces of CTE classes.
So for elementary. My only question as an elementary parent is,
Yeah.
a lot of the things listed there seem like they're work for
High school.
middle, high school.
Yeah, so with the elementary was broken down, or K through 2 was $75. 3 through 5 was $95. And I just kind of took it and combined it. And then on top of that, they had to pay for the bigger usage, which was $50 as well. So this is basically the exact same price as, but instead of having the two separate, so K through 2, probably they're paying $10 more than they would normally. But that's made up of just so we had an even number, so you owe $100 and you owe $110. It's just even across the board.
Right, because I know as an elementary parent, I had to pay for field trips, like I had to send money, so we might want to be careful about. That's to cover all of the trips.
Right, yeah,
Basically, it's covering the bus.
covering the buses.
That's right.
But yeah, if they go to the zoo, it costs $10 to do that. We're trying to limit field trips as well. We have way too many of them, I feel. So,
So what you're saying, if they go to the zoo, it's $10, that's part of this deal?
No.
no,
Yeah, that's what I.
yeah.
It'd be like bus expense.
Yeah, so I just got it short, yeah.
Yeah.
Report.
Possibly,
The driveway. Yeah.
I do like it, it's a simple one. Right, here's your deal.
I would have to call Carrie every year and say, did I pay this?
The same thing, you're getting into all the games.
Yeah.
I like the 1B, I just think maybe we should be a little more clear about.
If we just add field trip transportation on the.
Yeah, that way if an elementary parent gets a note saying, hey, it's $10 to go to the zoo, they're not like, hey, I thought I paid.
Right.
The other piece on here, the open enrollment busing, just bump that from $225 per student to $250. If they choose to do it. We have more drop-off areas this year, so I don't suspect that we have about $30,000 that we took in this past school year. I don't suspect us to get to that point. If we have more drop-off areas where people from out of district will bring in their students in district or bus route pickup, so we don't charge for bringing students.
So, so.
So they have Southend, or the north, south.
Well, born to something.
Okay, is there any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Yerke,
Aye.
Gilbert,
Aye.
Johnson,
I,
Birch.
Aye.
Olson, Stefas.
The compensation dates.
This did not change. Or did we bump up substitutes?
Yep, substitute teaching, we use a calculation based on our base teacher pay. Oh. And then the non-certified, we bumped up the 50 cents that hourly staff receive. The CDL bus drivers got a slight bump, I think it looks like $6.
Yeah.
And then we decreased for the activity bus driving to a maximum of 8 hours over a 24-hour period. So there's not very often that they're driving 8 hours a day.
I'll make a motion to accept compensation rate for $2.25, 26.7.
I'll second.
So that, why did we take the activities down to 8 hours?
Just to try to save a few dollars.
There's nights we need you at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we get back on. I mean, I'm honestly, there's. Hours, I mean. You might have to pick the time. Not time kind of get it right. You know, limit them to 8 hours.
Part of the process too, Sean, with those, you know, you pay for coaching and civil. That was.
But there's times too that I drive that bus and, I mean, you've been on a bus too when it's night, it's crappy out here driving home, so. On over. On even.
Oh, it can if you want.
I mean, it-
definitely be.
You know, I'm just voicing my opinion
Yeah,
on
yeah.
it.
I guess we're just trying to do some things that are. Both of them.
You have not here maximum of 10 hours now. Jeez.
You want the second page of the attachments?
Open for discussion.
I mean, I was telling you.
I agree.
So are coaches getting paid to be at the event and they're also getting their coaching stipend? So they're double dipping essentially.
But that bus. Here's that bus.
But when they get there,
Doesn't matter, it's a contract, it's contract, we're not state like that. Contract supposed to be, you know.
well, right, no, I understand that he's supposed to get those rates, but like when you're sitting there and you're coaching your sport, your coaching contract is paying you for that.
Yes.
So you should not also be getting paid for sit time.
So, you're not going to,
Well, if the coach is driving the bus, why are they also getting paid to coach and sit?
They probably said, well, I'm not driving. Someone else and pay them that day. You know what I'm saying?
you're gonna have a pains either way.
Probably incentivizes coaches to get their bus license.
Yep.
But that's non-CDL.
No, these aren't.
But that's what it says on here. So like when I drove a bus for FCCLA, driving the bus, I'm a non-CDL driver. Or I'm driving Suburban, I'm not even driving a bus.
But you're also getting paid for that, too, right, as an advisor.
Right. But then I guess I never realized I was also getting paid to sit there. As my bus driver fee. Actually, I don't think I did.
housekeeping.
I understand what you're,
I mean, it is what it is.
So driving the bus, then you would get paid 4 hours up and 4 hours back,
Right,
and nothing in between is what you're saying, right?
right, because you're theoretically, your
Your
coaching
coaching.
contract is paying you for that time spent.
Right,
If you drive out here, that time is coaching. We're not paying you to drive from your house to the school to coach game,
right, I can see where you're
coach
going.
match or whatever. I mean, I see it both ways. I'm just, if we're trying to find ways to cut costs and someone is genuinely sitting there for 8 hours and not coaching. I mean,
Or they're in Minneapolis for the day and they drive a half hour to dinner. And
right,
they keep the kids at the Great Wolf Lodge, and
But you're still driving, you're still responsible.
it's just an example.
Well, if you're gonna do that, you're gonna end up losing bus drivers. I guarantee you that.
I'll have to decide that.
Schedule it. Hopefully.
Bierke,
no,
Gilbert.
No.
Johnson,
No,
Merch, Olson. Stefas.
no,
All right. First motion failed. What changes would we like to see? We would get the compensation rate schedule to make it more palatable. It's gonna be food.
go back to 10 hours.
That's what I was thinking, because it seems like our games is fine.
Or for the,
If you need, there's in there.
what adds up, but I mean, it honestly. We take off out of here to go to Carrington, leave her at 8 o'clock in the morning. And I'm actually, yes, I get paid for coaching, but I'm driving all the ways to Carrington. And then by the time we get to the hotel, it's 12 hours. So I mean, I'm just saying, you know,
Hey,
but
I
it
just,
gets said and done.
I
with
just
the day.
propose something.
Yeah, right.
I don't
I
take,
mean,
yeah. Yeah.
I just think if you, I understand, I get it, the budget, I get that, but. You're gonna, well, football teams driving all the ways to do a ring. So that's a long drive.
There's- Anything else besides that?
for the behind the wheel instruction, is that separate than what they get paid to teach like the instructional course then? Yeah,
So that's what bracelets.
so he doesn't get paid a stipend to teach the classroom course, or is it two separate things?
Two separate,
Two separate.
Two separate.
because it could be two separate people. Or like,
Oh,
if you,
it could be.
or you could have two different behind the wheel.
Right.
Is scouting just on there for informational purposes? I don't see as salary associated with it or.
Yeah, that's just if they're gonna jump in and go watch a football game.
I
on
think with
Tuesday night.
Huddle, they really haven't.
Yeah, they've.
Sure.
Use that.
Used to.
Yeah.
Boy,
Mhm.
All right, so I'm hearing that the only major change that we would like to see is change the activity bus driver back from 8 to 10 hours. Is that correct? Correct. So there be a motion that effect.
Oh, make a motion to
Schedule as presented with the change of
with it, presented with a change of 10 hours.
the 10 hours.
10 hours.
For the activity bus drive.
Yeah.
Is there a second? That was you were making a motion.
Yeah.
Second,
Second.
any further discussion?
But one quick thing, did you take the physicals up? Was that at $80 a month thing?
I've always seen it at 100, but
Okay. I just.
Oh, I'm gonna proceed. All right, any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Yerke,
No.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Johnson,
Yeah,
Birch. Olson.
Aye.
Stefas.
I,
All right, board meeting calendar.
Especially the May, April.
I was gonna say, we cannot change the September board meeting, because that's the one that gets published, that date's published. So, it's a Wednesday, that's why I think I did it Wednesday. This was,
Unless there's a major plan.
yes,
are the rest of these Mondays?
there's a couple Wednesdays, but mostly
Okay.
Mondays.
Oh. Reads all the words, not just part of it.
It's okay.
As presented.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
Further discussion?
Move at 7 o'clock.
No, not happening.
Roll call vote, please.
Yerke.
Aye.
Gilbert.
Aye.
Johnson. Birch.
Yes.
Olson. Stefas.
Right, the next item would be letter of resignation from JSA. The letter of resignation, which I believe y'all received the email earlier. So you get requesting us to waive the damages. Backlog assigned for the contract for the 6/27 school year. Bullshit agreement. And the assessment of $2,000. Your motion. So,
Make a motion to accept resignation of the 2011. Taking. Stephen.
second.
To keep the $2,000 fee? Yes. Yep.
Get the second one, Dave, discuss it.
So motion would be to accept the resignation contingent upon receipt of 2,000.
I'm having a hard time hearing.
Oh,
Hey,
so
Rabbit.
basically accepting the resignation on the 2000 dollars. So what is that paid? for-
All right, so. Do we discussion about the motion?
I don't understand about the $2,000.
So the negotiated agreement is liquidated damages. Once they sign their contract, there's dates in place that once those dates pass, they're required to pay the district an amount to be released from their contract.
So as we get closer to the school year starts, that amount is keeping it. Basically,
It keeps going up.
yes. Basically, we're trying to incentivize them not to break their contract.
So when does a contract take effect?
As soon as they sign.
As soon as the school board approves it,
So it's not, okay. So she signed it.
May,
And is this the position that Terry said that was no, it's not state required?
Correct.
But it's part of the negotiated agreement that. So.
So the last instance was our ag educator, he left him August 1st or whatever, and he was required to pay for data damages. Due to the stress contract, which we're pretty sure that his next employer paid for him, but. It's paid.
Yeah, I didn't know if the contract would take effect the new school year, now July 1, or,
Because the first, and I'm not 100%, but I believe the first date for liquidated damages, that June. Is it
I think it's
June
June first.
June 1st, I think. Because in general, we don't want to have all the contracts signed before the end of the school. If they intend to. If they know that they're not gonna return, they can choose not to sign the contract, then it's.
I just think it's a lot of money for somebody that wasn't a required position in the school. Just my thought.
It's just what we negotiated into the contract the last time around to try. Prevent people from breaking their drug. Was there any further discussion? Yep, motion written down.
Yep, I did accept the letter of resignation from Smitty as of June 30th, 2026. Upon receipt of $2,000 in liquidated damages.
So that is the motion on the floor. Any further discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Yerke,
I'm sorry, can you repeat the motion again?
yeah. To accept the letter of resignation from Jay Smitty as of June 30, 2026, upon receipt of $2,000 in liquidated damages.
No.
Yerke?
No.
Oh, sorry. Gilbert?
I,
Johnson?
No,
Murch?
Yes.
Olson?
Yes.
Steffes?
I,
Motion
Yes.
carries.
Can I ask a question about the summer library in the email? Like, I see that we canceled it and it got deleted from all the socials, but. I think it's already on the school website as well, so we might just wanna put something out saying that it's.
I know Lindsay, when we had talked, Ashley Crinky was gonna do this summer.
Oh, so we are still, okay, cause I noticed it got deleted from like
Yeah,
Facebook and stuff, so,
yeah.
okay.
Next item would be to take action on the special event application for the 627 school year. This information for the museum on it. There was only one person who applied for the special event application that we created last year. I guess I the only ones that didn't go overly well. So.
So the example would be the rock concert put on by Mr. Young.
Mhm.
There was a special event contract created that gave him X amount of dollars, and then the school kept X amount of dollars to incentivize what he was doing. And I believe the musical wasn't a special event, but the musical one time, it's in his contract now, but at one time it wasn't, so he would get a little bit of a stipend
Oh.
for that. So they put this special event, they being the school board, put the special event application together. And my feelings as well, it did not work how it was supposed to. Too many loopholes, and I don't know if a person can even get around closing all the loopholes, because there's just gonna be something else and then something else. So I'd rather tackle this without a special event application.
So when you say the school kept some of it, it was like a fundraiser.
So rather than the school keeping all of the gate, if there was a gate charged, he got part of it in the school, got the other part.
Personally,
So then it went first.
So we made a special event also because we could let the coaches put on a clinic or something like that.
Sure.
So that, you know, and then if they charged kids from, school, then they could, kind of make some money on that, the school would, kind of keep, I guess, control of it
Yeah.
or a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think the problem was the kids were required to be in the rock concert. And then the parents had to pay for multiple visits, like $15 each time. Yeah, it wasn't, my kid was 12, so I don't know, but. Yeah, I didn't.
And then some of the the coaches that were on camps, none of them, they all
Donate it back to the
they
program.
put it back into it.
So would we just, sorry, I was going to ask about the motion, just to.
I'm gonna say make a motion to eliminate those special events. Special events,
Treat them on a per basis? I mean, do we have to put a motion on that or just not?
Still the application process and special events. We called it.
I did the application procedure effective immediately.
I'll do that. Motion.
I'll second. So when that comes up next,
And it's gonna have to be, if you're gonna do it, you're gonna have to do it like it would be a normal concert.
okay, that was my question.
Yeah. If he does it as a fundraiser, then all proceeds go to auditory channel.
That's because. Yeah.
Roll call vote, please.
Yerke,
Aye.
Gilbert,
Right.
Johnson,
Aye.
Birch.
Aye.
Olson.
Aye.
Stefas.
All right, then last items. Reminder that we do have the board retreat on the 28th at 1:00. Back to school night is August 18th at 5 p.m. If anyone is available to help serve the meal. As we usually do. Discussion on breakfast for all staff training. I guess previously, Penny and I are usually here.
Yeah,
Serving donuts on the first day that staff returns to the building.
you're going through Deb again.
Does it do you want to do Deb again?
Yeah,
Yeah, that was really, I think they really appreciate it.
yeah.
Also, if anyone would like to join us for that, do. It's the addition. Open enrollment application. Is there some information you can provide on is this someone that was in district and has change of address, I assume?
Somebody that outside of district and they're planning on building a house inside the district.
No,
No, it's not that one.
I was just saying.
no, this is a
That's right.
high schooler moving out from out of state
Okay.
into West Fargo district.
So they're moving into the West Fargo district and are applying for open enrollment, previously enrolled in Northern Kids.
Correct.
Look, and
Littleton.
There's 47.
I'd say that should be a smaller class.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second. Discussion.
So tuition wise, how does that work?
We'd get all the state aid
Inputs.
because they meet the 30 days.
Okay, remind me, when is our deadline for open enrollment?
If it's somebody that hasn't recently moved, it's the last working day in February. So it could be February 29th.
The change of address allows 30 days for open.
Mhm.
Right.
Can use it.
These will be precedents on some of the, most change of address. We have. Change of address. Any other questions or discussion? Roll call vote please.
Bianchi,
Abstain.
Chilbert,
No.
Johnson,
Aye.
March, Olson.
Aye.
Stefas.
Aye.
And what am I missing?
The bills and the policy sign off.
So there's no motion required for policy sign off. That's just be.
Oh,
just.
Yep.
Okay. We have a page about getting your policy review signed off on and a question to approve the general fund bills. But,
Also move.
I'll second.
question, discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Bianchi. Aye. Chilbert,
Aye.
Johnson,
Aye.
March,
Yes,
Olson.
Aye.
Stefas.
Aye.
we need a motion to adjourn. Yes.
Also move.
I'll second.
Favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.